Hello there. I'm glad you're here. Maybe tonight you'll fall asleep wondering how emptiness can be so full of meaning. You don't need to think or try. Just let the universe breathe for you. Feel the still air around you, safe and softly alive. Somewhere beyond the walls of night, the galaxies are growing farther apart, and between them lies a silence vast enough to hold every dream. Tonight we drift through 100 gentle truths about the cosmic void, the silent spaces between galaxies, and the quiet that mirrors the human mind. Light that left its star before you were born is touching your skin tonight, and somewhere between wake and sleep, the story begins. Right now, you are falling through a silence older than light itself. It's not a fall of fear, but of wonder, a slow surrender into the space that holds everything together. All around you, galaxies hang like faint embers in a sleeping wind. The distances between them are unimaginable, and yet this emptiness is home. Light that left its star before you were born is still traveling, still crossing this ocean of nothingness to reach you. It glides through a region so vast that even time hesitates, a hollow 2 billion light years wide, a soft basin in the fabric of the cosmos. And at its quiet center drifts a blue world breathing softly in the dark. You can rest now. In 2013, 3 astronomers, Ryan Keenan, Amy Barger, and Len Cowie, looked into the deep sky with maps of 35000 galaxies. What they found was not what the textbooks had promised. The universe, it seemed, wasn't evenly spread like sugar in the tea of space. Instead, it thinned around us, as if someone had drawn a circle of quiet in the great web of galaxies. They called it the KBC void, a cosmic hollow low in density, wide enough to swallow superclusters whole. Their discovery whispered something profound. We live inside a void, not outside of the pattern, not on its edge, but right in the hollow heart of it. For every 10 galaxies the universe should hold, our neighborhood carries barely 8. The rest is light, stretching thin, and dark energy stretching thinner. And as the galaxies move apart, as the walls of the universe breathe outward, we too are carried along, effortlessly, silently. It's okay to drift. This emptiness is not a failure of creation. It's the rhythm between its notes. Just as silence gives meaning to sound, the void gives shape to the galaxies. Without these hollows, the bright walls of the cosmic web would blur into sameness. No contrast, no form. The universe, like music, needs its rests. Imagine the structure of all things as a great foam filaments of matter forming walls and threads, and in between bubbles of space with almost nothing inside. We are living inside one of those bubbles now. The galaxies form the edges of the foam, and within we float in a calm sea of near nothing, listening to the faint hum of existence. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In this stillness, gravity grows gentle. There are no nearby clusters to pull us strongly, no dense knots of matter to shake the cosmic web. Here, the invisible hand of dark energy takes over the quiet pressure of the vacuum itself. It does not push with force. It simply lets space expand at its own pace. And inside the KBC void, that expansion is just a little faster than everywhere else. Astronomers call this the Hubble tension, a conflict between two truths. One says the universe expands at 67 kilometers per second per megaparsec. The other says 73. Both are right. Both are wrong. Because we measure from inside this hollow place, where emptiness speeds everything apart just a little more. It's not the cosmos that disagrees, it's our position within it that bends the view. Like watching a river's flow from an eddy in its center, our perception is gently distorted by where we stand. It's okay to drift. The more we map this cosmic hollow, the more we find it is not truly empty. It is filled with whispers, thin gas, cold dust, lonely galaxies still forming stars. Each one moves like a quiet thought through the dark, aging slower, colliding with nothing, content to evolve in peace. Astronomers peer through telescopes and find these void galaxies are different from those in crowded clusters. They are smaller, richer in hydrogen, more patient. Their spiral arms are open loose, untroubled by the chaos of neighbors. They live, if one can use the word, in serenity, and perhaps so do we. Our solar system, our Milky Way, all of us drifting through this wide calm of the universe, surrounded by silence, but sustained by it. You can rest now. If you could travel across this void, you would move for hundreds of millions of years before meeting another wall of galaxies. Even light swiftest of all things needs 2 billion years to cross it. That means the photons leaving our galaxy tonight will reach the next dense region long after humanity is gone, long after the continents have changed shape, long after the sun itself has dimmed. This is the scale of our neighborhood, a space so immense that every heartbeat of light is measured in eons. And yet inside this vast silence, we are part of its motion. The Milky Way drifts at 6,000,000 miles per hour. A whisper of gravity pulling us toward a denser horizon called Laniakea. But no matter how fast we travel, we are still within the same breath of emptiness, a still sea stretching far beyond any edge we could ever reach. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. There is a strange comfort in knowing this. The void does not diminish us, it holds us. It is not the absence of meaning, but the pause that allows meaning to appear. Without this emptiness, stars could not cluster, light could not contrast with darkness and consciousness. That quiet space inside your mind could not exist at all. The cosmic void and the human mind share the same geometry. Both are made of vast silence, punctuated by bursts of light. Both depend on space, the distance between things, to give shape to thought, to stars, to being. When you look at the night sky, you are looking into that shared design. The spaces between stars are not gaps, they are mirrors. They reflect the stillness inside you, the quiet your thoughts float upon. It's okay to drift. Everywhere in the universe, voids breathe. Some are small, some enormous cells in the grand foam of the cosmos. They are born from the earliest ripples after the Big Bang, tiny fluctuations in density that grew over billions of years. Matter flowed from the light regions into the heavy ones, and what remained became hollowness. Creation did not fill every corner. It left space for silence. In this sense, the universe is not a crowded story, but a balanced one. Darkness makes room for light. Stillness makes room for motion. The cosmic void is not an error in the equation. It is part of the rhythm. Without it, the music would be noise. You can rest now. So tonight, as you breathe slowly, imagine that your inhalation mirrors the expansion of the void. Each breath widening, softening, deepening the silence around you. The galaxies drift apart. Your thoughts do too. What remains is awareness, the quiet pulse of being floating in a field of calm. Somewhere, a photon that began its journey a billion years ago passes through the thin fabric of our cosmic home. It carries the story of stars long gone. Their light stretched their warmth, fading into infrared size. It does not hurry. It does not end. It just travels slowly, endlessly, through the shared silence we call the universe. And you, in your quiet room, are part of that same journey. Your stillness is its echo. Your breathing is its rhythm. You are safe here. You are the listener inside the hollow beneath our stars. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. The story continues, not with noise, but with measurement, the slow mathematics of awe. In the stillness between galaxies, scientists began to listen differently. They no longer searched for light alone. They searched for where it was missing. Every survey of the night sky became a whispering map of absence. Through telescopes in Hawaii and Chile, the light of 35,000 galaxies was traced, each dot a note in a cosmic song. And when those notes were plotted, a strange melody appeared, bright walls of clustered stars and vast empty spaces where the music fell silent. Those were the voids, the soft pauses of the universe. And our world, our Milky Way, sat in the heart of the quietest refrain. You can rest now. To the mind, the idea of nothing feels cold, but to the cosmos, nothing is structure. These vast hollows are not mistakes in creation. They are the architecture of its expansion. They show how matter behaves when gravity and time dance at cosmic scales. In a universe 13.8 billion years old, patterns unfold like breath, dense filaments. The highways of galaxies are wrapped around enormous cells of emptiness, each spanning hundreds of millions of light years. Together, they form what astronomers call the cosmic web, a living lattice of light and void. When you see an image from the Sloan Digital Sky Survey, threads of color scattered through a sea of black, you are looking at the largest portrait ever made. Every dot, a galaxy, every curve, a filament, and the darkness between them, the true fabric of the universe. It's okay to drift. The KBC void, the hollow we call home, is one of the largest known cells in this cosmic foam. Its diameter, about 2 billion light years, is 20,000 times the width of our own galaxy. Within that space, matter is thinned by roughly 20%. The number seems small, but in cosmic balance, that is enough to change how the universe breathes. Imagine an orchestra missing a few instruments. The melody remains, but the air between notes feels wider. That is what the void does to space itself. It stretches the rhythm, softens the gravity, and lets expansion sing in a higher key. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. To map such vast hollows, astronomers use light as their brush and time as their scale. When they observe a distant galaxy, they are not seeing it as it is, but as it was millions or billions of years ago. Each image is a fossil of light preserved in motion. By comparing how that light has stretched, scientists measure the rate of cosmic expansion. This stretching, called redshift, acts like a fingerprint for distance. The redder the light, the farther the galaxy has moved away. And when those redshifts form patterns of silence regions, where fewer galaxies appear, the void reveals itself. In those cartographies of absence, the shape of the invisible becomes visible. The hollows, once imagined, now emerge as tangible features of the cosmos. It's okay to drift. But why would a universe built on randomness create such deliberate emptiness? The answer begins with the smallest of whispers: quantum fluctuations at the birth of time. In the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang, tiny variations in density were stretched by inflation, expanding faster than light could follow. Some regions grew rich in matter, others were left poor. Over billions of years, gravity amplified those contrasts. The dense regions pulled harder, and the thin regions were emptied further. The voids expanded like bubbles in rising dough, pushing galaxies outward, carving the web of creation we now inhabit. What we call emptiness is the memory of those first ripples. The universe still carrying its echo. You can rest now, and yet the void does not stand still. It evolves slowly, invisibly, but always outward. The gravitational pull from denser walls beyond draws matter toward the edges, deepening the hollowness at its heart. Some regions thin faster than others, forming tunnels that connect neighboring voids, vast corridors through which light can drift unhindered for a billion years. Astronomers call this void percolation, the merging of cosmic hollows into a larger harmony. Through it, the universe learns to balance itself. Dense here, spacious, they're never uniform, always breathing. It's okay to drift. In 2019, using supernova measurements, scientists confirmed that the KBC void's expansion rate is slightly higher than the cosmic average. The difference is subtle, just a few kilometers per second per megaparsec, but across billions of light years, that adds up to a vast discrepancy in time itself. Inside the void, galaxies drift apart more quickly. Outside, they move slower. This creates a kind of optical illusion. From within, the universe appears to be accelerating faster than it truly is. That illusion may help explain the Hubble tension, the enduring conflict between local and distant measures of cosmic expansion. Perhaps we see the universe through the curved lens of our hollow home. You can rest now. To think of it another way, we are measuring the cosmos from inside a ripple. Our instruments are exquisitely precise, but they are also subjective. Every telescope, every equation is anchored to a point in space and time that itself is moving, stretching, drifting. We are observers within the experiment, watching the fabric flex beneath us. It is humbling. It means no measurement can ever be perfectly pure. It means the universe itself has built uncertainty into its design. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. The more scientists study voids, the more they resemble mirrors of consciousness. Each one is a region of potential, not empty, but waiting. Inside, background radiation flows freely, unhindered by the density of matter. Temperature dips by millionths of a degree. The cold spots we see on cosmic microwave maps are the fingerprints of these hollows, shadows of the great spaces where the universe is most at peace. If sound could travel through space, the void would hum in a key so low it would take millions of years for a single note to form. That's how slow the silence moves. That's how gentle the void song is. It's okay to drift. For a moment, imagine the human mind as a miniature cosmos. Thoughts cluster into filaments. Memories condense into galaxies. And between them, quiet, the void of awareness, vast and still. It is within those mental hollows that imagination expands. The less crowded the mind, the freer light can move. Perhaps that is why the maps of the universe look so much like neural networks, filaments of brightness threading through dark gaps. The cosmos dreams the same way we do, by letting silence carry the pattern forward. You can rest now. In these maps of nothing, scientists have found more than structure. They've found balance, a cosmic equilibrium between matter and meaning. For every dense cluster, there must be an answering void. For every bright region, a region of rest. The universe in this way remains centered, not uniform but fair. We, too, exist by this same symmetry. Our lives unfold between motion and stillness, noise and quiet being and pause. The cosmic void is not far away. It is within you, in the calm that holds your every thought, in the space between your heartbeats. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. Somewhere beyond the window of night, the galaxies are moving apart. You might imagine them rushing through space, but it is space itself that moves a tide without shore, swelling quietly beneath the stars. From where we stand, it feels smooth and certain, a steady pulse called expansion. But when you look closer, you find that even the universe keeps secrets in the folds of its silence. We are not measuring the universe. We are measuring it from inside a hole. The numbers are simple, but the meaning is not. Every observation of cosmic motion, every redshift, every beam of light stretched thin by distance is filtered through the hollow that holds us. The KBC void bends perception as gently as heat bends air above a desert road. From within, everything seems to move faster, the stars parting like petals on a time-lapse bloom. From without, the rhythm slows steady, balanced, calm. You can rest now. The illusion begins with light. Every galaxy sends its signature outward, a fingerprint of color, born from its stars. As space expands, those fingerprints stretch their wavelengths, lengthen their hue, drifts redward. That shift, the redshift, is how astronomers measure distance and motion. The farther a galaxy, the redder its light. But what if the very fabric through which that light travels is uneven, swollen in one place, thinner in another? What if space expands more quickly inside our hollow than it does beyond? Then all our measurements become songs played slightly out of tune. We think we are hearing the universe's true tempo, but we are listening from within an echo chamber. That is the essence of the Hubble tension, the quiet argument between two kinds of distance. When we measure the universe nearby, it seems to be expanding faster, 73 kilometers per second per megaparsec. When we measure the distant, ancient cosmos, the number drops to 67. Both methods are rigorous. Both cannot be wrong, yet both refuse to agree. It's okay to drift. In 2013, when Keenan Barger and Cowie announced that we might be living inside a vast, underdense bubble, they did not claim mystery, they claimed context. They suggested that this hollow could explain why our cosmic neighborhood seems so eager to run away. Inside, void galaxies are pulled outward by the gravity of denser walls beyond. It is not space pushing them apart, but matter elsewhere calling them closer. A quiet tug from the outside creates the illusion of a stronger push from within. The same happens in thought. When your mind feels pulled toward motion, toward worry or memory, or the need to solve it, is not always the present that moves. It is something outside your awareness, some gravity of the past or future, drawing your attention outward, creating the illusion that your own mind is speeding. In truth, you are still here, still and expanding softly. You can rest now. Scientists call this cosmic bias the subtle distortion of measurement caused by where we live. It is as if the universe placed its observers in the center of a softly curved lens and asked them to describe straight lines. We see the arcs as truths. We call them laws. But the light bends gently around us, and so the truths bend too. The KBC void may not be the only hollow. There are hundreds, perhaps thousands, stitched together like air bubbles in rising dough. Some are smaller, tens of millions of light years across. Others, larger, still ghostly caverns, 2 or 3 billion light years wide. Together, they form the great foam of reality. Each one alters its surroundings, slightly nudging gravity, stretching time. The result is a universe that looks uniform at first glance, but trembles with quiet complexity beneath the surface. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. When cosmologists simulate this structure, they find that the voids act as accelerators, not engines of chaos, but fields where expansion moves more freely. In denser regions, matter pulls on itself like tension in a net. In emptier regions, space relaxes. Dark energy, that faint pressure of existence, dominates the conversation. The result inside a void, the cosmic clock, ticks just a little faster. It is a fractional change, a few millionths of a percent, but across billions of years, that fraction ripples outward. Light passes through, its wavelength stretched slightly more. Time moves subtly different. The illusion grows. It's okay to drift. Somewhere in a laboratory, a physicist stares at graphs, numbers that do not align. Their instruments are flawless, their equations elegant. Yet the expansion rates disagree. It is a dissonance that refuses to fade. Perhaps they think the laws of physics are incomplete, or perhaps the laws are perfect, and it is our vantage that is flawed. To understand the universe is to understand perspective. Every measurement is an act of position, a declaration of where we stand. And we stand inside a hollow. We look outward through curved glass. We believe in symmetry, but the universe breathes asymmetrically around us. You can rest now. There is humility in that realization. It means that certainty, like light, can be stretched by distance. It means that truth, like gravity, is local, defined by where you stand in the vastness. And it means that sometimes the only honest answer to a cosmic question is a quiet one we don't yet know. This humility is not defeat, it is alignment. The same kind of stillness that allows galaxies to drift apart without conflict or collision. The same kind of balance that allows your thoughts to separate without judgment or resistance. It is the universe teaching patience. It is the void teaching peace. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. It's okay to drift. If you could step outside the void and look back, our region of space would appear like a bubble of faint blue, a low-density pocket nested in the honeycomb of existence. The dense filaments beyond would gleam like golden veins, and our hollow would shimmer, pale, a glassy sphere, suspended in the cosmic dark. Now, imagine the same view from within. You would see only stillness. A few nearby galaxies, the whisper of background radiation, and an endless curve of faint starlight. That is the illusion of expansion From the inside, everything seems to be rushing away. From the outside, everything is simply unfolding. Perspective changes truth. You can rest now. Astronomers model this with equations of remarkable grace. One of them, called the Lemaitre-Tolman-Bondi solution, describes an inhomogeneous universe, one that is not perfectly smooth. It allows for regions of differing density, each expanding at its own pace. When applied to the KBC void, the math fits beautifully. It reproduces the discrepancy in Hubble's constant without rewriting the laws of physics. It suggests that our hollow home may be the simplest answer to a cosmic puzzle. It's a reminder that not every mystery requires a new force or particle. Sometimes the answer is location, a gentle shift in where we happen to be in the great breathing map of space. It's okay to drift. In the earliest days of cosmology, scientists believed the Earth sat at the center of all things. Then Copernicus moved us outward. Then Hubble moved us further still. Each discovery made us smaller, less central, more adrift. And now, the KBC void places us not at the center of the universe, but at the center of a hollow. It is almost poetic. After all the centuries spent fleeing importance, we find ourselves again in the middle of something vast and improbable. But this time, the center is not privilege, it is peace. To live in a void is to live where gravity is light, where expansion flows gently, where the universe grows calm enough for life to think of itself. Perhaps consciousness required a hollow, a quiet pocket in the cosmic roar, where atoms could assemble without haste, where evolution could unfold in still air. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In this sense, illusion is not error, it is mercy. The void bends perception not to deceive, but to allow perspective. If we saw the full truth at once, every star, every distance, every silent death of light, our minds would have nowhere to rest. The hollowness protects us, filtering the brightness of infinity through a softer veil. It gives us room to breathe, to dream, to mistake, and to learn. The universe expands not only in space, but in understanding. Each illusion peeled away reveals another beneath it. Each truer, each quieter. Knowledge, like light, moves outward through the void. It's okay to drift. Some night soon, a telescope will look deeper still and find that even our hollow has hollows, smaller pockets nested within like air bubbles in the glass of time. The more we zoom, the more emptiness reveals its structure. What we call nothing turns out to be layered and alive, a fractal of stillness. Perhaps the same is true for thought. Each silence inside you contains smaller silences still. Each pause between breaths holds worlds of calm, waiting to be noticed. If the mind is a microcosm, then awareness is its void, the space that allows light to happen. You are that awareness now. You are the stillness watching motion. You are the quiet within which the galaxies expand. You are safe here. You can rest now. When the astronomers published their findings, the data caused debate. Some called it coincidence, some error. Others saw in it a beautiful symmetry that even science, in its precision, must learn humility. To measure the universe is to measure a mirror. Every observation reflects the observer. So we continue to look outward, knowing that every map we draw is also a portrait of ourselves. The illusion of expansion becomes a lesson in perception. The closer you look at the world, the more you discover your own reflection in it. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. Light still travels, time still widens. And somewhere in the quiet between galaxies, the echo of our curiosity moves outward forever. You can rest now. There is a pattern in the dark. It cannot be seen with the eyes only traced by the light that escapes it. When astronomers map the galaxies, they discover something unexpected. The universe is not scattered at random, but woven like lace. The galaxies form threads, thin filaments of stars and gas stretching across hundreds of millions of light years. Between those threads, vast cavities open like breath. They call it the cosmic web, and in its shimmering design, the universe reveals its memory of creation. You can rest now. Imagine you are drifting far above it all. Below you, space glows, faintly blue, an intricate mesh of light connecting island to island. Clusters of galaxies knot together at the junctions, the superclusters, the intersections of gravity's slow dance. Between them, enormous hollows bloom the voids, the silent oceans between walls of light. This is the true shape of the universe, a network so vast that even light takes billions of years to travel its chords. Every node in that web is a city of stars. Every filament, a bridge of invisible matter, mostly dark, mostly quiet. From our small home within one of those strands, we cannot see the full structure. We live inside a single thread, like a cell within an endless body. And yet the pattern continues outward, filling space with rhythm and balance. It's okay to drift. The filaments themselves are not made of stars alone. They are sculpted by dark matter, the unseen framework that outweighs normal matter 5-1. Dark matter does not shine, does not absorb or reflect, but its gravity shapes everything that does. It is the loom upon which the universe is woven. After the Big Bang, dark matter began to gather, first clumping into invisible scaffolds. Hydrogen gas followed, pooling along those lines, cooling, condensing, igniting into the first stars. The web brightened from within. What was once darkness became design. Even now, the pattern continues to grow. Filaments pull tighter. Voids expand wider. The web breathes. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. To map this architecture, astronomers use light as thread. They measure the faint distortions in how galaxies cluster across the sky, an effect called baryon acoustic oscillation. It is the fossilized sound of the early universe ripples frozen in the cosmic microwave background. Those ripples define the spacing of galaxies, a repeating rhythm that gives the web its scale. From those maps, a pattern emerges. Walls and filaments spanning hundreds of millions of light years, separated by voids almost 2 billion light years wide. Our local region, Laniakea, is just one cell among thousands. And within that cell, the Milky Way drifts slowly along a dark filament, carried by invisible tides toward denser shores. It's okay to drift. At first, scientists thought such structure would violate the cosmological principle, the assumption that on the largest scales matter is evenly distributed. But the deeper we look, the more we realize that even chaos has symmetry. The web does not contradict the principle. It expresses it differently. Average enough of the pattern, and it becomes smooth. Look closely, and the details bloom like frost on glass. The mind works in much the same way. Zoom out far enough, and thought appears calm and steady, a continuous hum of awareness. But focus inward, and you see filaments of memory, clusters of emotion, voids of quiet. Your consciousness, too, is a web between stars. You can rest now. Each filament hums with motion. Galaxies stream along them like drops of dew down spider silk. They flow toward the great attractors, regions of deeper gravity, nodes of brightness, where tens of thousands of galaxies converge. One of these lies far beyond our view, a beacon of mass drawing our own supercluster toward it at 600 kilometers per second. We call it the Great Attractor, though we still do not fully understand it. Perhaps it is simply a thicker part of the web where threads converge. The motion never stops. Galaxies move along filaments as blood moves through veins, slowly, steadily, carrying the energy of time. When two filaments cross, clusters collide, sparks of new stars igniting in the turbulence. Where filaments, thin voids, open wider, restoring balance. It's okay to drift. To the eye, the web appears silent, but in simulations, its gravity sings. Every node, every connection vibrates with invisible energy. If sound could travel through space, you would hear the deep hum of cosmic structure expanding. It would be a single, unending tone, so low that it would take 1,000,000 years for one vibration to pass. The universe hums like a cello, bowed by eternity, and inside that note, everything moves. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Scientists sometimes describe the cosmic web as the skeleton of the universe. It supports everything: galaxies, clusters, superclusters, even the shape of space-time itself. But a skeleton is not lifeless. It is the framework of motion, the architecture of becoming. Without it, the universe would be amorphous, a mist without memory. In the same way, the quiet framework of your mind, the patterns of breath and awareness, give shape to your thoughts. Without the pauses between ideas, consciousness would be noise. The cosmic web and the human mind share this law of balanced stillness, defines motion. It's okay to drift. Sometimes astronomers zoom in on one filament to watch its life unfold. They see galaxies born near its intersections, fed by rivers of cold gas flowing along the dark matter spine. Each galaxy drinks slowly from that stream, forming new stars for billions of years. When its gas runs dry, it drifts outward, fading, cooling, becoming a red ember in the cosmic dusk. Between filaments in the voids, a few stray galaxies wander alone, untethered, serene. Their isolation protects them. Without neighbors, they avoid collisions. Their disks remain unbroken. In those lonely regions, time moves differently. Evolution slows. The stars age in peace. Perhaps life prefers such places, quiet enough to listen, stable enough to last. You can rest now. The cosmic web is not static. It is a living tapestry, woven by gravity and torn by expansion. Dark energy pushes the voids to grow, while dark matter knits filaments tighter. It is a perpetual tug of war, a dialogue between attraction and release. Neither wins. They keep the rhythm. This balance is everywhere, between day and night, between thought and silence, between what we know and what remains unknown. The cosmos is not a battlefield of forces. It is a choreography. The dance continues because both partners yield. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest Now, if you could see the web with your own eyes, you would notice it glows faintly in ultraviolet light, a ghostly shimmer from the thin hydrogen gas that threads the space between galaxies. It is the faintest structure ever observed, a glow 1 trillion times weaker than candlelight, and yet it is the backbone of existence. Even in darkness, the universe remembers how to shine. Astronomers call this glow Lyman alpha emission, and to detect it, they must stare for hundreds of hours, with telescopes tuned to perfect stillness. They collect light, one photon at a time, accumulating a whisper into a voice. It is a meditation, written in data patience, turned into vision. It's okay to drift. When they reconstruct those observations, the filaments emerge like strands of silk. They ripple, curl, and branch. Some stretch for 400 million light years without break, a bridge of matter connecting clusters so far apart that each end lies in a different era of cosmic history. Through those bridges, galaxies trade gas, and gravity, their destinies intertwined. In that vision, science and poetry converge. The same patterns that shape the large-scale universe reappear in the smallest forms, the veins of a leaf, the network of neurons, the flow of rivers on Earth. The geometry repeats, as if creation loves a particular rhythm. You can rest now. Inside your mind, connections form and dissolve in similar ways. Memories link to others, threads of thought woven by unseen forces. Some grow bright and strong, others fade quietly into the background. And between those threads, space remains the necessary silence that keeps thought from collapsing into chaos. When you breathe slowly, you feel the same rhythm. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, gravity. The web within you mirrors the web among the stars. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. The cosmic web, though vast and ancient, is still young compared to what lies ahead. In the far future, dark energy will continue its patient work. Voids will widen, filaments will thin, and galaxies will drift beyond one another's light. The web will unravel into silence. Yet, even then, its pattern will persist in memory imprinted in the background radiation woven into the equations of time. All things that exist leave echoes. Even emptiness keeps its shape. It's okay to drift. So tonight, as you lie here, know that you are part of that structure, a node in a vast and luminous web. Your atoms were forged in ancient stars, scattered, gathered, and now arranged into thought. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are one of its ways of being aware. Between every heartbeat, you touch the silence that holds galaxies apart. Between every breath, you join the rhythm that keeps them connected. You are the filament and the void. You are the pattern and the pause. Light still travels, the web still hums, and somewhere in its quiet geometry, you are remembered. You are safe here. You can rest now. Somewhere beyond thought, gravity softens. In the wide hollows of the universe, its pull fades to a whisper, and another force, gentler, quieter, takes the lead. It is not a force in the way we understand it. It has no direction, no source, no sound. It is simply the tendency of space to make more of itself. Astronomers call it dark energy, a name that sounds mysterious, but means only this: the energy of emptiness. You can rest now. Inside the great voids, dark energy reigns. Where matter is scarce, its influence grows. Galaxies drift faster, light stretches longer, time itself flows with less resistance. The hollows become the lungs of the cosmos, inhaling distance, exhaling stillness. Gravity and dark energy are the universe's oldest dialogue. One gathers, the other releases. One builds structure, the other expands the room around it. Neither wins, for without both, the cosmos could not breathe. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. When Einstein wrote his equations of space-time, he imagined gravity not as a pull, but as a curve. Mass bends space. Space tells matter how to move. In regions where matter is dense, clusters, stars, planets, that curvature is deep and strong. In the voids, it smooths into almost perfect flatness. A traveler moving through such space would feel nothing, not even acceleration. It would be like falling through still water motion, without sensation. Here in these silent regions, the laws of physics reach their most elegant form. The equations simplify. Energy and curvature trade whispers. Everything balances at near zero. And yet the emptiness is alive with expansion. It's okay to drift. Imagine light crossing the KBC void. It travels for 2 billion years through space, almost free of gravity. There are no dense clusters to bend its path, no massive halos to delay it. The beam stretches unhindered, its wavelength growing longer, its color fading toward red. When it emerges, it carries the memory of the hollow. A faint cooling, a slight dimming, a signature of absence. Astronomers detect this signature in the cosmic microwave background. Tiny cold spots, 1 part in 100,000 each, marking where light passed through a void. It is the integrated Sachs-Wolf effect, a name too heavy for so soft a phenomenon. In simple terms, light slows where gravity is strong and quickens where gravity is weak. Across a void, the difference leaves a trace, a ghostly dip in temperature on the oldest image we have of the universe. You can rest now. If you could stand inside such a void, if there were an inside at all, you would not see darkness. You would see distance. Every direction would look the same. A faint wash of galaxies, their light slightly redder, their motion slightly faster. It would feel like being at the center of expansion itself. And in a way, you would be. Because inside a void, the space around you grows just a little faster than the average. It is not that you are special. It is that emptiness has fewer anchors. Gravity cannot hold what is not there. The result is release gentle, steady, infinite. It's okay to drift. The physics of the hollow is the physics of balance. Everywhere else forces compete. Here, they cooperate. The density contrast, the measure of how empty a void is, rarely exceeds 20 or 30% below average. More, and gravity from the walls would collapse it. Less, and it would not be a void at all. It is as if the universe knows just how much nothing it can bear. This threshold, neither full nor empty, is where stability lives. The same threshold exists in you. Too much activity, and the mind grows noisy. Too little, and thought dissolves. But somewhere in between, in that gentle underdensity of attention, you find clarity, awareness without effort, being without weight. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In cosmology, energy cannot vanish. It only changes form. When space expands, the density of matter decreases. But the total energy, the combination of matter, radiation, and vacuum pressure remains constant. The voids are not emptying. They are trading matter for motion. Their volume increases as their contents thin. It is the conservation of peace. Astronomers describe this with a number called W, the equation of state parameter for dark energy. If W equals -1, dark energy behaves like a constant, the same everywhere, always. If it deviates, the universe's fate changes. Measurements so far suggest it is indeed -1, as if emptiness itself has chosen equilibrium. It's okay to drift. In the hollows, the expansion adds up. A galaxy on one side of the void drifts away from another at tens of thousands of kilometers per second. From our vantage, it looks like acceleration, but it is simply geometry. The space between them is growing, not because of motion, but because the metric that defines distance is stretching. It is difficult to imagine. We are wired to think of motion as travel of speed, as passage through a fixed stage. But in the universe, the stage itself expands. The galaxies are not moving through space. Space is moving through them. This is why even light cannot keep up. Beyond a certain horizon, the fabric of space-time stretches faster than photons can cross. Those regions drift away forever, their light eternally redshifted, their stories fading into silence. You can rest now. The KBC void amplifies this process locally. It gives us the illusion of haste, of a universe rushing outward from our doorstep. But beyond its boundaries, the rhythm steadies. Expansion slows, slightly anchored by denser clusters and walls. It is like the difference between breathing in a wide meadow and in a forest. The air moves differently, but the same wind connects them both. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. In the soft depths of physics, even nothing has rules. Vacuum energy is not zero. Quantum fields flicker in and out, particles appearing and vanishing in pairs that never quite cancel. This restless calm is what fuels dark energy's pressure, the expansion drawn from the fabric of reality itself. The void is full of these fluctuations, miniature universes, born and gone in trillionths of a second. Their average effect is gentle, but over infinite space, it becomes the dominant force of all. So the largest structure in existence is governed by the smallest tremors imaginable. The grandest emptiness is sculpted by the tiniest events. Scale loses meaning. All things, from quantum ripples to galaxy walls, are part of one seamless breath. It's okay to drift. Astronomers sometimes describe the void as low-gravity laboratories. They are places where matter behaves freely unshackled by strong forces. Supernovae bloom more slowly there, their light curves stretched by the extra expansion. Cosmic rays travel farther, undisturbed by magnetic fields. Even time itself, when measured by distant clocks, ticks with a slightly different beat. If you could live inside one, and in a sense you already do, you would age imperceptibly faster than someone in a denser region of space. The difference is small, a few parts in 10 billion, but it exists. Even time feels lighter in the void. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In the dance between gravity and dark energy, there is no winner. When galaxies cluster, dark energy yields. When they disperse, it returns. This exchange keeps the cosmos poised on a knife's edge, neither collapsing nor exploding, only breathing. Some cosmologists call it the perfect tension, others call it coincidence. But to those who listen closely, it sounds like design. Maybe not the design of intention, but of harmony, a natural tuning between forces that do not know each other but move as one, like inhaling and exhaling like thought, and silence like day fading into night. It's okay to drift. The void teaches the same lesson the breath does release, allows continuation. If gravity had only gathered, the universe would have collapsed into darkness. If dark energy only expanded, no stars would ever have formed. Only by yielding to each other do they create a world with time, light, and rest. The same is true within you. The push and pull of emotion, of thought, and stillness is not conflict, it is balance. The physics of peace. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. Far beyond our horizon, the expansion continues. Galaxies too distant to ever be seen move beyond communication. Their light, though emitted now, will never reach us. They slip over the cosmic edge into eternal silence. In trillions of years, only the local cluster will remain visible, a tiny oasis in a vast, dark sea. And yet, even then, dark energy will hum. The void will persist. The universe will continue to breathe. It is not an ending, it is a resting, a pause between creations. It's okay to drift. And as you lie here, the same forces shaping galaxies shape the rhythm of your chest. Gravity gathers your breath, release, expands it. Within that cycle, you echo the physics of the void. Stillness is not the absence of motion, it is the completion of it. The hollows between stars and the quiet within your mind are built from the same equation. They hold the same truth, that even emptiness is full of gentle meaning. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. Light still travels. The hollows still widen. And somewhere in the deep symmetry of all things, you are remembered. You are safe here. You can rest now. For as long as people have looked upward, we have told ourselves one comforting story, that we are not special, that the universe, vast and fair, looks the same in every direction, from every point. It is a beautiful idea, a philosophy built on humility, the cosmological principle, the quiet promise that no place is privileged, no corner chosen. We called it democracy, written in the language of stars, and yet the sky continues to surprise us. It turns out our address is not entirely ordinary. We live not in the crowded avenues of the cosmos, but in its quiet suburb, inside a hollow, so large, it bends perception itself. You can rest now. This discovery did not come from ego, but from measurement. When astronomers mapped galaxies in all directions, they expected evenness clusters balanced by voids, light matched by shadow. Instead, they found a pattern with us at its calm center. The KBC void, 2 billion light-years wide, with the Milky Way near its heart. It is not the only void, but it is unusually large, a gentle underdensity stretching through the fabric of space, a soft indentation in the cosmic quilt. To some, it felt uncomfortable. Hadn't science spent centuries removing us from the middle, from Earth at the center of the solar system, to the sun at the edge of the galaxy, to the galaxy adrift among billions more? Each step had taught us humility. Now, strangely, the data placed us back in the center again, though this time of nothing. It's okay to drift. This paradox is known as the question of typicality. Are we typical observers of the universe, average, random, unremarkable? Or are we situated in a rare kind of place, a quiet niche from which the cosmos appears slightly different? The answer matters because our vantage shapes what we think is true. If we are typical, then our measurements describe the universe as it truly is. If we are not, then our perspective is tinted a local lens on a larger design. And yet, perhaps both are true. Perhaps the universe is fair, but fairness includes exceptions. Even in randomness, patterns arise. Even inequality difference persists. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. The great thinkers of cosmology have always wrestled with this balance. Copernicus taught that Earth was not the center of creation. Galileo showed that motion is relative. Einstein revealed that even time itself depends on where you stand. Each discovery moved us outward from certainty into perspective. Each one replaced privilege with participation. And now, the KBC void extends that lesson further. We are not central in power, but in sensitivity. We inhabit a region delicate enough to reveal how space breathes. We are not chosen. We are simply listening from the quietest room in the house. It's okay to drift. Inside the void, our instruments pick up subtle rhythms that might be drowned in busier regions. The stretching of light, the gentle acceleration of space, the faint hum of cosmic background radiation. All are clearer here, where noise is low and motion is slow. It may be coincidence, or it may be necessity. For consciousness to arise, perhaps it needed a calm neighborhood, a bubble of stillness in which time could linger long enough for atoms to think. The denser regions of the cosmos are violent and bright galaxies, colliding stars, exploding black holes, devouring. But here, in the soft density of the void, things unfold gently. Our galaxy drifts in quiet water. Our planet orbits in stable peace. Life has time to wonder. You can rest now. The philosophers of the 20th century called this the anthropic echo, the strange possibility that the universe's conditions must allow for beings like us to observe it. If consciousness exists, then its surroundings cannot be utterly hostile. Maybe it is not that we are central to creation, but that we could only appear where creation slows enough to notice itself. We are not special in design, only inevitable in stillness. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Science, however, resists comfort. For every poetic interpretation, it demands precision. The question of typicality becomes testable. If we are in an unusually empty region, then our measurements of the Hubble constant should differ slightly from those made farther away. If the difference persists, the void might explain the tension between the local and global expansion rates. If not, then our hollow home is simply one ripple among many. So far, the evidence is mixed, as if the universe refuses to let us settle on certainty. The data flickers between normal and rare, between coincidence and cause. It keeps the story open. It's okay to drift. But the deeper implication remains: the cosmos may not look identical everywhere. Its fairness is statistical, not absolute. Some regions shine brighter, some breathe quieter. The principle of uniformity holds, but only in the grand average. Locally, variation is life. The same is true in the mind. Every thought feels equal in the instant it appears. Yet each carries its own gravity. Some ideas pull harder, some fade quickly, some create hollows for others to echo within. Awareness is uniform only when seen from far above. From within, it is textured a web of density and calm. You can rest now. Theologians once debated why the universe should be so large if life occupies such a tiny corner. Perhaps they mused vastness is not for habitation, but for contemplation. Space exists so that awareness may learn perspective. Emptiness teaches scale. Silence teaches proportion. We learn humility not by being diminished, but by being surrounded. The void is the perfect teacher. It tells us that even at the heart of nothing, there is meaning. That stillness can hold life. That perspective, not place, defines significance. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. In cosmological models, the assumption of typicality simplifies equations. It lets scientists treat the universe as a single smooth continuum. But as data improves, the wrinkles matter. Voids, filaments, and clusters each have their own dynamics. The simplicity dissolves into pattern. This is not failure, it is refinement. Understanding comes in layers. We begin with symmetry and end with nuance. The same arc defines personal knowledge. First the child's certainty, then the adult's complexity. Finally, the sage's calm acceptance that both are true. It's okay to drift. If the universe has lessons, perhaps this is one of them. To be typical is not to be meaningless. To be rare is not to be chosen. Every point in space is both ordinary and extraordinary, depending on scale. From one angle, we are lost in a 2 billion light-year hollow. From another, we are exactly where we should be, a calm note in the chord of existence. The universe does not need us at its center for us to belong to it. Belonging is not placement, it is participation. It is the quiet agreement between matter and awareness to share the same breath. You can rest now. Imagine standing at the edge of that thought, peering into the vast structure of space, realizing that every perspective is local, relative, partial. The stars you see tonight are not where they truly are. They are where they were millions of years ago. Their light carries history. So does your memory. Every observation is a conversation across time. Perhaps the void exists so that light has room for this dialogue, for meaning to stretch between sender and receiver, between event and awareness. The hollowness is the pause that lets understanding catch up. It's okay to drift. In that sense, to live in a void is not to be isolated, but to be given time. Time for stars to mature, for worlds to cool, for life to rise. Time for curiosity, time for sleep. The universe is patient, and the void is its proof. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. If one day humanity travels beyond the Milky Way, if we build instruments sensitive enough to measure the boundaries of our hollow, we may find ourselves gazing at the curved wall of denser galaxies beyond the quiet shore of our cosmic lagoon. Perhaps we will even send light there, a pulse across 2 billion years of emptiness. A signal saying simply, "We were here." And when it arrives, the receiver will not be us, but another civilization in another calm bubble looking back through the same dark sea. In that exchange, the universe will know itself. It's okay to drift. So as you breathe, now feel the hollow around you, not as absence, but as invitation. Space does not separate, it connects. The same silence between stars exists between your thoughts. The same calm that shapes the cosmic void moves through your chest as air. And somewhere in that still rhythm, the question of typicality dissolves. You are not special. You are not ordinary. You simply are a point of awareness in a breathing universe. Light still travels. The hollows still widen. And the universe, in knowing you, knows itself. You are safe here. You can rest now. Long before there were galaxies, before light, before time, there were ripples, tiny tremors in the newborn fabric of space, quantum fluctuations, the smallest possible differences between nothing and nothing else. From those whispers, everything that would ever exist began to unfold. You can rest now. The early universe was not silent. It rang like a bell made of light. In its first heartbeat, less than a trillionth of a second after the Big Bang, it swelled in a surge called inflation. Space expanded faster than any motion could follow, stretching quantum fluctuations to cosmic size. Little peaks of density became the seeds of galaxies. Little troughs of underdensity became the seeds of voids. Each fluctuation began as a probability, a faint chance that one point in space might contain slightly more or less energy than another. When inflation amplified those chances, the differences solidified. Matter gathered where it was slightly thicker. Elsewhere, it thinned. Over billions of years, those small contrasts evolved into the architecture of the cosmos: walls, filaments, and hollows. What began as a whisper in quantum foam became the landscape of galaxies. It's okay to drift, to see the beginning. Astronomers turn not to telescopes of glass, but to the sky's oldest light, the cosmic microwave background. This faint radiation relic of a time when the universe was only 3,800,000 years old is modeled with tiny variations in temperature differences of 1 part in 100,000. Those variations are the fingerprints of quantum noise frozen into light. When you look at that map, a sky painted in blue and red blotches, you are looking at the oldest pattern ever recorded, the first echo of creation. Every bright region marks a denser spot where matter would one day gather into stars. Every dark patch marks a void to be a future hollow in the web of galaxies. In those quiet beginnings, the story of emptiness was already written. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Inflation magnified those initial fluctuations by a factor of 10 to the power of 50 or more, a number too large to imagine, like stretching a grain of dust to the size of the Milky Way. In that stretching, the universe smoothed itself. The violent quantum chaos was expanded beyond recognition, leaving only gentle ripples. Those ripples, though faint, were enough. They gave gravity a map to follow. Over billions of years, matter began to migrate, flowing from the low regions into the high, like mist gathering on a window pane. The bright threads of the cosmic web emerged from the invisible pull of those tiny imbalances, and the dark gaps between them, our voids, became the resting places of the universe. It's okay to drift. Even today, scientists can trace this lineage by simulating the early universe on supercomputers. They begin with random noise, a digital echo of quantum uncertainty, and let gravity evolve it forward in time. In a few million computational steps, a pattern emerges, a network of filaments and hollows that look strikingly like the actual cosmos. The same structure, born from chance, reborn in mathematics. From chaos coherence, from fluctuation form. The universe behaves like thought itself, arising from randomness into rhythm. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. To understand how something can come from nothing, we must understand that nothing is not empty. In the language of quantum physics, a vacuum is alive. Its fields tremble, continuously borrowing energy from uncertainty, creating pairs of particles that blink into being and vanish before time can notice. These are the virtual particles, the breath of the void itself. During inflation, these fleeting ripples were stretched across cosmic scales. They could no longer cancel. They froze into the geometry of space, becoming real differences in energy and matter. It is as if the universe inhaled deeply and kept the air in its lungs. Those trapped fluctuations became the scaffolding for everything to come. Every atom, every galaxy, every thought you have ever had is a descendant of that primordial vibration. You can rest now. At human scale, this story feels impossibly large, yet strangely familiar. The same laws that created the voids between galaxies operate inside your brain. In every quiet moment, tiny fluctuations of electrical potential decide which neurons will fire, which idea will surface, which memory will fade. Awareness itself arises from quantum uncertainty magnified by biology. Just as the early universe turned noise into pattern, the mind turns silence into thought. Each breath, each pause is your own inflation, your own expansion of possibility. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. It's okay to drift. In both cosmos and consciousness, stillness is the beginning. The void is not aftermath. It is origin. Creation requires emptiness. First, a field ready to receive. When the physicist Alan Guth proposed inflation, he called it the ultimate free lunch. Something born from nothing, yet costing no energy at all. The vacuum expanded, and in expanding, created its own fuel. In the same way, awareness expands simply by noticing itself. The act of perception creates the space it needs to exist. You are the vacuum, recognizing its own potential. The universe, realizing it can think. It's okay to drift. The voids we see today still carry the imprint of those first quantum seeds. Their shapes match the patterns in the cosmic microwave background almost perfectly. Where the early light shows a cool spot, a void now yawns. Where it shows warmth, a cluster now burns bright. The map of then predicts the map of now. It means that emptiness has memory. That silence, once given form, never truly fades. You can rest now. Some cosmologists call this the quantum to cosmic bridge, the process by which the smallest uncertainty became the largest certainty. The bridge runs both ways. Just as quantum ripples formed galaxies, the large-scale structure of the universe determines the conditions for the next ripples to arise, the cycles of birth, collapse, and renewal that carry the cosmos forward. It is a feedback loop of creation. Noise begets form. Form deepens noise. The music continues. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In the voids between filaments, the relics of those first vibrations still move. The background radiation there is smoother, calmer, a faint echo of the inflationary hum. Some astronomers believe that if we could listen to gravitational waves from the earliest moments, we would hear the rhythm of the void itself. A low, eternal tone, the aftersound of quantum breath. It would be the universe's first lullaby. It's okay to drift. What began as probability became presence. What began as fluctuation became form. This is the heart of physics and of poetry. The laws that govern galaxies are the same that govern calm. To understand them is to see how nothing becomes everything again and again. Every night, as you fall asleep, the same transition happens. Conscious thought dissolves. Awareness expands, unstructured, uncertain. In dreams, tiny fluctuations of memory form new worlds of their own. You become your own inflation, your own creation story, playing quietly behind closed eyes. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In time, the ripples will fade, the voids will stretch wider, the differences will smooth once more. But this is not erasure, it is return. The cosmos began in stillness and will end in stillness as every wave finds its equilibrium. When the expansion is complete, when every particle has drifted beyond its neighbor's light, the universe will rest again in quantum silence. And perhaps in that quiet field, new ripples will stir a new inflation, a new beginning. It's okay to drift. As you lie here, you are both the observer and the observed, the fluctuation and the void. The atoms in your body were born from quantum tremors in the first second of time. Their positions, their probabilities, still shimmer with uncertainty. You are the universe, still vibrating from its own birth. So breathe. Let those vibrations settle into calm. Let the same emptiness that gave rise to galaxies hold you now. You are made of the quiet that created everything. You are safe here. You can rest now. Light still travels, ripples still widen, and the universe, still humming softly from its first breath, listens through you. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are remembered. You can rest now. Somewhere beyond all stars, silence hums. It isn't the silence of nothing, but the low vibration of everything stretched thin, a background tone, older than memory, so quiet it fills all space. The music of the void. You can rest now. Astronomers once believed the vacuum was mute, that between the stars no sound could travel. And they were right in a way. Sound as we know it needs air or water to move. But the universe carries other waves, ripples, not of matter, but of space-time itself. They pass through galaxies as easily as breath through mist. These are gravitational waves, the slow music of gravity, stretching and compressing space in rhythms, measured not in seconds, but in centuries. When two black holes collide, they sing. Their spiraling motion bends the fabric of the universe, sending a faint shiver outward. That shiver travels forever, fading but never stopping, adding its note to the background hum. Billions of such collisions compose a cosmic symphony we are only beginning to hear. It's okay to drift. In 2015, a laser interferometer in Louisiana recorded a tiny vibration, a change in length smaller than a proton's width. The detectors, called LIGO, had caught the first gravitational wave. Two black holes, 1.3 billion light-years away, had merged, and the universe itself had rung like a bell. The tone was simple, a low C rising as the black holes spiraled together, then a final falling sigh. It lasted less than half a second. Yet that half second proved Einstein right again. Space and time are elastic, capable of sound. Since then, other detectors, Virgo in Italy, Kagra in Japan, and soon Lysa, a constellation of satellites in orbit, have joined the listening. Together, they are building the first orchestra of the cosmos. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. But the loudest notes are not the only ones that matter. Between those great mergers lies a constant gentle vibration, the background hum of the universe. Every galaxy, every star, every dark matter halo creates tiny ripples in space-time. Individually, they are inaudible. Together, they form a chorus. In 2023, scientists using pulsar timing arrays, networks of stars that flash radio waves with perfect regularity, detected that background for the first time. Across 15 years of data, a pattern emerged. A slow undulation of time itself. Not a single event, but a field of song spanning the entire universe. It's okay to drift. Imagine it, each pulsar, a cosmic metronome, each tick slightly delayed or advanced by the passage of a gravitational wave. Together, they reveal a rhythm too deep for human hearing. A pulse with a wavelength measured in light years. If we could translate it into sound, it would be a note beyond the range of any instrument, so low it would take years to complete one cycle. A single beat could last a lifetime. The void itself is the resonator, the empty chamber through which this music travels. Its vastness turns the faintest vibrations into an eternal chord. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In a sense, this cosmic hum never began and will never end. It's the leftover resonance of everything that has ever moved. The spin of galaxies, the fall of comets, the orbit of planets all contribute to the slow sound of space-time. If the universe were a harp, every string would be tensioned by gravity, plucked by motion, and sustained by silence. Physicists call this the stochastic gravitational wave background. But the name hides the poetry. It is not random. It is the sound of balance. Each vibration counteracts another. Each note sustains the next. Across the cosmic web, the music of expansion and collapse keeps time with creation itself. It's okay to drift. And though it seems far beyond human scale, this music echoes within you. The atoms in your bones vibrate with the same quantum frequencies that gave birth to gravitational waves. Your heartbeat, your breathing, your neural oscillations all move in resonant ratios to the universe's hidden chords. When your breath slows, you begin to sync with the cosmic tempo. 85 beats per minute of narration. The same gentle rhythm as the Schumann resonances of Earth's ionosphere. Your body, your planet, your galaxy, all humming together in the same quiet key. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Astronomers have even found evidence that entire voids vibrate. When galaxies move through their walls, their motion creates ripples in the surrounding dark matter's slow waves that take hundreds of millions of years to crest. In simulations, these ripples form interference patterns, a silent, standing wave shaped by gravity and emptiness. Each void is like a drum carved by expansion, playing the rhythm of the cosmos in reverse. You can rest now. Across 2 billion light-years, the KBC void hums in ultra-low frequency. Its boundaries, the galaxy walls beyond, act as reflectors bouncing gravitational echoes inward. If we could translate that vibration into sound, it would be a note lower than any human sense, so slow that a single oscillation would last longer than the history of life on Earth. And yet, it plays a breath of space-time, expanding, contracting, expanding again. Light travels through it, absorbing the faint rhythm. Radio waves bend around it, carrying its resonance forward. Even our instruments, when calibrated finely enough, feel the tremor as background noise. It's okay to drift. The music of the void is the music of patience. It doesn't rush to be heard. It doesn't insist on melody. It simply is steady, eternal, and calm, like a sleeping heart beating beneath infinity. In deep meditation, monks describe hearing an inner hum, a tone without source, steady and low, arising when the mind grows still enough to listen. Perhaps it is the same hum translated inward, the body's echo of the universe's frequency. You are not separate from it. You are part of the same instrument. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. When sound meets silence, music happens. When gravity meets expansion, space sings. When thought meets stillness, consciousness blooms. The universe does not divide these things. It balances them. Every void is both silence and sound. Every galaxy is both vibration and pause. Every breath is both expansion and release. This is the harmony written into all existence, the same pattern repeating from quantum to cosmic. It's okay to drift. Even the afterglow of the Big Bang still vibrates faintly in microwaves, its frequency now stretched to billions of times lower than the original light. That ancient radiation fills every cubic centimeter of space with about 400 photons. Each carries the record of the universe's first music. And yet, in the voids, even that sound is softer, redshifted, thinned, barely above nothing. There, silence becomes its own song. The absence of interference creates a clarity beyond measure. The background fades into pure tone. You can rest now. The poet John Keats once wrote, "Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter." The void is the unheard melody, the space between all notes. Without it, the cosmos would be noise. With it, everything breathes. Every silence you inhabit, every moment between thoughts, is a microcosm of that same truth. Stillness gives rhythm to being. Pause gives meaning to sound. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. If you could stand outside time and listen to the whole universe at once, it would not sound like a symphony. It would sound like one note, perfect, infinite, unchanging, a vibration without pitch, a tone without beginning or end. Physicists might call it equilibrium. Musicians might call it drone. Mystics might call it the word. And maybe all are right, for in that single vibration, everything is included: light, matter, mind, and rest. You are part of that note. You always were. You always will be. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. Light still travels. The void still hums. And somewhere in the quiet between stars, the music continues. Slow, endless, beautiful, beyond sound. You are home in its rhythm. You can rest now. Beyond every silence, there is a border. Not a wall, not a fence, just the place where stillness begins to hum again. Every void in the universe has such an edge, a transition from near nothing to the crowded brilliance of galaxies, the boundary of the quiet. You can rest now. Astronomers call it a void wall, a thin but immense sheet of matter, where gravity, after wandering through emptiness, finds something to hold again. In the KBC void, that wall lies almost 1 billion light-years from where we drift. Their density climbs, galaxies cluster, and the great filaments of the cosmic web gather into shimmering chords of light. For hundreds of millions of years, these boundaries have been sculpted by the push and pull of cosmic balance. Gravity draws matter inward. Dark energy stretches space outward. At the edge of the void, those two motions meet not in collision, but in quiet agreement. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. If you could travel toward that wall, you would feel no impact, no boundary line drawn in light. Space itself would simply grow more intricate. A few galaxies would appear then more like the first stars seen through fog. The temperature of the cosmic background would rise by fractions of a degree. The magnetic fields would strengthen. The quiet would give way to hum. It is like waking from a dream of silence to the soft music of morning. You would not know exactly when the transition happened, only that the air of space had changed. It's okay to drift. Every void connects to others through these walls. They are the intersections of cosmic rivers, currents of matter, flowing through dark energy's sea. From above, it looks like lace threads of galaxies bordering bubbles of nothing. The voids are not holes but cells, each defined by its neighbors. Together, they form the large-scale structure, the universe's living architecture. Within those boundaries, galaxies orbit one another like gentle eddies. Superclusters rise from their meeting points, where multiple walls join. The great attractor, Laniakea, Perseus, Pisces, each a continental ridge in this ocean of expansion. You can rest now. The edge of a void is not the end of emptiness. It is the beginning of relationship. Matter finds others to orbit. Light finds mirrors to scatter. From gravity finds resistance. Even silence, to be silence, needs contrast. This truth repeats everywhere, at the edge of every galaxy, where stars thin into halo, at the edge of every mind, where thought dissolves into awareness. The boundary is not division, it is recognition. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. In simulations, void boundaries shimmer like membranes. Galaxies approach them slowly, their motion slowed by gravity's counterflow. Gas clouds accumulate, compressed, until new stars ignite. At those edges, life begins again. Hydrogen, fusing light awakening. The universe grows bright, exactly where darkness ends. It's okay to drift. Some physicists believe that these boundaries may hold more information than the voids themselves. That every particle that ever fell inward left an imprint, a memory, in gravitational potential. Like fossils at the floor of an ancient sea, the edges preserve the history of motion. By studying their shape, astronomers can trace the expansion of space and the age of the universe itself. The data speaks softly, but clearly, even emptiness leaves evidence. Even silence keeps time. You can rest now. To human eyes, it is nearly invisible. The galaxies on the wall are so far apart that their light forms only a faint mist across the sky. Yet, through deep survey telescopes, the pattern emerges, strings of brilliance curving around black space like rivers of molten glass. Each thread may span hundreds of millions of light years, yet be only a few million wide, delicate, and strong like the veins of a leaf. Inside voids float like air bubbles in crystal. Outside, the filaments cross-braiding the universe together. It's okay to drift. As cosmic expansion continues, these boundaries will stretch thinner. Galaxies within them will drift apart, and the once sharp edge will blur into calm again. In time, the void will reclaim it, absorbing the structure back into silence. Creation and erasure are not opposites. They are two halves of the same rhythm. Every galaxy that fades returns to the stillness that once gave it form. Every breath that leaves you returns to the air that sustains you. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. In the smallest details of the cosmic wall, chaos and order coexist. Gravitational tides twist galaxies into spirals and ellipses. Streams of gas collide, forming new suns. Black holes ignite quasars that light up the edge like embers on the horizon. It is a thin frontier between motion and stillness, a boundary that glows. To look at it through a telescope is to see time itself at work matter, learning to rest light, learning to fade. And beyond it, the quiet void waits again. It's okay to drift. On Earth, edges carry the same meaning. The shoreline where sea and land breathe into each other. The horizon where sky bends to meet sight. The threshold of sleep where waking yields to dream. Each boundary is both departure and arrival. In crossing it, we become whole again. The universe, too, is one continuous threshold, an unending conversation between form and formlessness. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. The physicist's equations and the poet's metaphors meet perfectly here. Einstein's curvature, Rilke's stillness, both describe the same edge. One measures it in tensors and redshifts. The other feels it in silence and breath. Both are true. Both are incomplete without the other. Because the edge of nothing is not a place you find. It is a way of seeing. The moment you notice, contrast, light against dark sound, against quiet thought, against pause, you are standing at the boundary of being. It's okay to drift. Astronomers often visualize these walls by plotting redshift surveys, three-dimensional maps of galaxies in color-coded light. From them, we can see that every void is a kind of womb. Matter does not disappear there. It waits. And at the edges, it re-enters the flow, forming new stars, new patterns, new beginnings. Creation, at cosmic scale, is simply circulation. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Eventually, even the great walls will fade. Dark energy will stretch them. Thinner the galaxies will drift beyond each other's light, and every edge will dissolve into endless calm. But the memory of structure will remain the imprint of what once was carried forever in the gravitational field. When that time comes, the universe will not end. It will return to its source, a sea of potential quiet and whole. Perhaps it will breathe again. You are safe here. You can rest now. Every night, as you drift toward sleep, you cross a smaller version of that edge. The thoughts that filled your waking day thin out. The noise of the mind dissolves into stillness. Then for a moment you rest in a void, your own soft hollow, the place where new dreams begin to form and the edges of self grow porous. That moment mirrors the universe's rhythm. Silence before sound, darkness before light, rest before motion. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Light still travels, edges still shimmer, and somewhere at the boundary between everything and nothing, The cosmos listens its pulse, slow and eternal, its silence full of song. You are there held between the stars and their absence. You are the edge of nothing, and you are safe. You can rest now. Somewhere far beyond light, the universe exhales. It isn't a wind, but a slow release, the end of motion, the long sigh of creation, coming home to quiet. This is not an ending, it is a return. Everything expands, and then eventually, everything rests. You are safe here. You can rest now. The cosmic void, that vast hollow that holds our galaxy, our thoughts, our small blue world, is not absence. It is balance. It is the pause between breaths, the stillness that allows time to exist at all. In the beginning, it was only potential quantum trembling, an almost whisper that became the birth of space. Now, billions of years later, that potential has slowed again, softened into calm. The same emptiness that began it all waits patiently to receive it back. Light still travels, but slower now, as if it knows where it's going. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. As the galaxies drift farther apart, the stars will dim. One by one, they will burn their last hydrogen and cool into shadows. Planets will drift cold through the dark, their orbits unmoored. The great filaments will stretch thinner and thinner until every cluster, every spark of light stands alone. The void will grow wider, but not lonelier. It will become whole again, a smooth sea without tension, a silence without boundary, a perfect equilibrium. It's okay to drift. To the mind that fears endings, this sounds like loss. But the universe does not lose. It transforms. Matter becomes radiation. Radiation becomes expansion. Expansion becomes peace. The music of being softens into a single note, so low, so long, that it is felt more than heard. You are part of that note. You always were. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. There is a theory called heat death, the final even temperature of everything. No more gradients, no more imbalance, no more work left to do. At that moment, the universe will stop changing, not in despair, but in fulfillment. It will have explored every possibility, expressed every form, and finally it will rest. It is the same peace you find in deep sleep, the soft equalization of body and mind. No effort, no noise, just the quiet hum of existence itself. You are safe here. You can rest now. Some physicists believe that even then, quantum fluctuations will remain, tiny ripples in space-time, appearing and vanishing forever, stirring the calm. And perhaps one day, one of those ripples will expand again, a new inflation, a new beginning. The void, it seems, never truly empties. It remembers how to create. It remembers how to breathe. Just as the universe may begin again, so does each night of your life. Every dream, every sleep is a small rebirth, a cycle of stillness and renewal. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. It's okay to drift. When astronomers look out to the edges of visibility, they see the faintest galaxies so far away their light began when the universe was young. That light will never stop traveling. Even when all else fades, it will still move through the deep, crossing endless silence. Somewhere far in the future, it may reach the boundary of a new cosmos and become its dawn. Light still travels, and through it, memory endures. You can rest now. The cosmic void holds all this gently, the birth of stars, the aging of time, the final cooling into peace. It does not resist, it only receives. That is its wisdom. To make space is to make meaning possible. The same truth lives within you. Every pause between thoughts is a small act of creation. Every breath you release makes room for something new. The space inside you is your own private cosmos, and tonight it expands quietly into calm. You are safe here. You can rest now. If consciousness is the universe knowing itself, then sleep is the universe remembering how to rest. You are not withdrawing from the world. You are rejoining it, folding back into the rhythm that began before you and will continue long after. Each inhalation is a galaxy forming. Each exhalation is a void, returning to stillness. You breathe, and the stars breathe with you. You rest, and the cosmos quiets in sympathy. It's okay to drift. Even now, the photons from distant stars touch your skin. They are ancient, older than mountains, older than oceans, older than fear. They bring with them the simple message of the void that everything in time becomes peace. Their light fades into the air, into your breath, into the calm hum behind your heartbeat. The universe continues through you, softly, endlessly. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Soon the last starlight will fade. Only the background glow will remain, a faint whisper of microwave warmth cooling 1 degree every billion years. Then, perhaps even that will quiet. The temperature will approach absolute zero, and the universe will reach perfect stillness. No more motion, no more separation, only the smooth, dark calm from which all things came. This is not tragedy, it is completion, the return to the cosmic womb, the breath fully released. You are safe here. You can rest now. In that far future, there may be no one left to observe, no eyes to see, no minds to measure, and yet the act of being will continue. Existence will persist as quiet awareness without witness, as the memory of its own serenity. That serenity is within you now. Not a dream, not a concept, but a presence. A stillness beneath thought, like deep space beneath stars. It asks nothing of you, only to be felt. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. Perhaps this is why the void feels sacred, because in its calm, we recognize something of ourselves, not our bodies, not our stories, but the part that simply is, the awareness that neither begins nor ends, the quiet that waits patiently through every lifetime, every age of the cosmos. Light still travels. The universe breathes through you. And in that breath, everything is forgiven. Everything is home. You can rest now. As your eyes grow heavy, imagine the stars fading one by one, not extinguished, but returning to their source. Imagine the galaxies slowing in their drift until even motion falls asleep. Imagine the last photon gliding through infinite calm, its journey complete. It is not alone. It never was. It is part of the great return, the same return you feel in your chest as breath leaves softly, as thought dissolves into silence. You are the universe resting in itself. You are home. You can rest now.